Hi everybody, it's Corvus Bruxo and you're watching Starting Out Solitary. Today we're talking about a lot of people's favorite topic, divination. This week's topic is divining the future, believe it or not, and how if so. So specifically, I don't believe in divining the future. I don't believe people can divine the future. I believe you can have better, wider knowledge about the situation by knowing other people's intention and what's developing around you that you can see, and basically to try to know what you can't see with your 5 physical senses by themselves. So having a better understanding of the situation and being more knowledgeable about it, you of course have a better understanding of the possible outcomes of a situation. And in my opinion, that makes people believe that they are divining the future. But since in my belief, the future isn't carved in stone, you can't divine the future as something set in stone. Like, you can't know for sure something's gonna happen because many things can be or come in between, and things can have a different outcome than expected. Of course, that I respect those who believe that are divining the future, but it's not my belief. As for how, I don't have a method that I believe it's better or truer for that matter. I believe everybody has his or her own preferred method or methods. My preferred method would be necromancy. It's ancient, it's primal, it's otherworldly, but I am not brave enough to interact with the dead in that matter yet. My preferred method would be through dreams, but in a very specific way. This specific way comes because of a historical account. There is this deity that is, in my pantheon, king of the underworld and in charge of healthcare, health, healing, medicine, and also kind of wildlife, but that's another function. This deity was called Endovelico. His name is either translated as the very good one or the black one. The first for his healing abilities, his fatherly attitude towards his worshippers, and so on. And the other one, because being an underworldly deity, he would be in charge of mines and mining and metals under the surface of the land and everything below the earth, basically. Metals, stones, etc. Minerals, and so on. So, according to a Roman account, a written Roman account, part of the worship to this deity was that, by the way, is one of the few deities that had worshippers from all social strata, professions, whatever, everything, from shepherds to warriors to mothers, kids, whatever. And according to this account, there was a rite they called in Latin incubatio, incubation, and this rite consisted apparently in going to his sanctuary, receiving certain rites. Priests would perform certain rites on the worshipper. The worshipper would sleep in the sanctuary that night, and he would receive the visit in dreams of the deity and would receive orders or the deity's will, solutions to health problems, life problems, whatever. The thing is that I wanted to take that idea of interacting with the god of prophecy, of divination, of whatever, in a liminal place such as dreams. So we of course don't know the specific rites and words of these rites, but what I do is leaving an offering the night that I want to perform the divination and the contact. Mainly red wine, sometimes black beer or dark beer. I think you say dark beer in English, but that's not the usual one. Usually red wine, because it doesn't only represent the underworldly nature, but also the blood of the ancestors and the dead. So it's kind of necromancy now that I think about it, but not exactly, because it's not contacting the dead themselves. But I'm rambling, sorry. For me to trigger that he appears in my dreams, what I do is using divinatory oils or whatever, or symbols of his nature as a divine being. At first I used laurel, because basically laurel is easy to find. So I would put laurel under my pillow, maybe chew some laurel, and it's gross, I know, it tastes awful, but everything for divination. But preferably palm stuff. And why? Because palm trees are his sacred trees. According to a scholar, a very famous scholar that studied Lusitanians, Leda de Vasconcelos, or Vasconcelos, I'm not sure how it is pronounced. There was a statue that he found and is now missing, as many things here, of Endovedico having two erotes, that erotes were the word for winged kids, and they were like, you know, lesser entities or lesser spirits or whatever you want to call them. One was carrying a torch, the other was carrying a palm leaf. So palm oil or a palm leaf under the pillow, or anything that has to do with palms. My shift saint used to anoint a wild boar's fang and put it under the pillow, but I don't have a wild boar's fang, and I don't hunt. I would appreciate having one, but one that was already dead or whatever. I don't want to hurt animals myself. But the thing is that, yeah, basically is trying to trigger the contact by using symbolism attached to this deity before going to bed, to try to attract him to that liminal place that is your dreams. And then he would give me some guidance that is usually very, very confusing, and you have to interpret it later. But yeah, basically that's my favorite method. And the only method that I use so far, because tarot cards, you need to learn about the different meanings of each card. There are many, then the different displays, positions. It's very difficult. One day I will get to the point, but I haven't reached that point yet. I know most of the major arcana, but that's it. That was my take on divining the future. And how? Tell me what you think in the comments down below. We'll see each other next Friday. Thanks for watching, guys. Stay tuned and bye.